Using our graphing calculator, we will be able to sketch the graph for this pair of parametric equation. And what we are supposed to do on top of the graph that we have here is to indicate the coordinates where it meets the x-axis, which means the x-intercept, and the maximum point. So let's start with the x-intercept. At x-intercept, it is when the y-coordinates are equal to 0. So I'm going to let y be equal to 0. And for my equation, when y is equal to 0, it means that 1 minus cosine t is going to be equal to 0. That means cosine t is equal to 1, and since t is between 0 to 2 pi, that means t must be either 0 or 2 pi. So let's try to find what is the corresponding x value when t is equal to 0. When t is equal to 0, that means x is going to be 0 minus cosine 0. Cosine 0 is 1, so we have a minus 1. And when t is equal to 2 pi, x will be 2 pi minus cosine of 2 pi. Cosine 2 pi is also 1, so we have a 2 pi minus 1. This is a negative value obviously, and y is 0, which means that this point here will be minus 1 and 0. As for these x coordinates, it is positive, which means that it must be this point. So it will be 2 pi minus 1 and 0 here. And now let's try to find the coordinates of the maximum point. And at maximum point, it is a turning point. So dy dx is equal to 0. In order for me to locate that, I'm going to first find the expression for dy dx. For a parametric equation, dy dx will be dy dt divided by dx dt. dy dt will be 0 minus differentiation of cosine t is minus sine t divided by dx dt. Differentiating t is 1 minus differentiating cosine t is minus t. So this is sine t divided by 1 plus sine t. And what we are going to do is to let dy dx be equal to 0 in order for us to locate the value of t at this turning point here. So dy dx is equal to 0 implies that sine t divided by 1 plus sine t is equal to 0, which means that the numerator here, sine t, must be equal to 0. And since t is between 0 to 2 pi, in order for sine t to be equal to 0, t will be pi. And when t is pi, what I want to do is to find the corresponding x and y coordinates. So x is going to be equal to, substituting pi into there, it is pi minus cosine pi. Pi minus cosine pi here will be pi minus minus 1, pi plus 1. And the y coordinates will be, substituting into here, it will be 1 minus cosine pi, it will be 1 minus, cosine pi is minus 1, so 1 minus minus 1, it is 2. So this point here will now bear a coordinates of pi plus 1, and the y coordinates is 2.